Jim Reese. If you would join us on the stage, please. Secretary Reese was appointed by Mary Fallin in January 11th of 2011. I'm going to let him do the rest of his background and welcome us here today. Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you. It's good to be here, and I appreciate all of you being here. And like she said, we're going to have a record-breaking crowd, and we're all excited about it. But I'm still excited that we have someone that drove 4 hours from Stillwell, Oklahoma. So I just want to know who drove the furthest from western Oklahoma. We have Laverne. Anywhere further than Laverne? Idabel. Okay, now you're going the other way. So you actually came from Idabel this morning? Who's Idabel? That's awesome. Thank you. And let's go southwest. Anybody southwest? Where? Frederick. That's a long way southwest. So we have come from across the entire state. Thank you. That's really impressive. So we appreciate you all coming. And I was going to introduce all of the Department of Ag staff that was going to be here this morning, and we're down to two, Mary Ruth and Tandy. Thank you. Mary Ruth is an outstanding staff person. She's got a brochure, and I was going to bring it up here and show it off, but I forgot about it. So make sure you go to her. What's the name of the brochure?
Regulations.
Agritourism regulations. She's got a great brochure that she worked on and did in about a day. She's amazingly fast. Tandy with Farmers Market, he just took over. He's doing a wonderful job. One of the things that I want to talk about is statistics. And I know farmers markets and farmers, and nobody wants to give their statistics out. Nobody wants to tell us how much product they sold. And I understand that. I filled out my ag census the other day, and Troy Marshall with NAS I'm sure he would plan on being here. He's not here. He would have encouraged me, and I told him, I said, I was really going to go on and do a video and say, you need to fill out your ag statistics, you need to do ag census. And then I went home and did mine, and I said, geesh, you have to fill out so much, how much you spend, all of your utilities, and but that is what we use to brag about agriculture. Without the statistics that all of us turn in. And so if you sell $1,000 worth of ag products in a year, gross sales, you really should fill out the census. And what that does for us, so let's go back to the numbers that we do have. The numbers we do have is what the farmers markets turn in. And some of the farmers markets turn in nothing. And some just estimate and give a good idea. And so we're stuck with a $7 billion industry now. That's what agriculture, we produce $7 billion worth of raw ag products a year. And so that's products that have been developed in that year. A calf that was born, chicken, pig, strawberries, raspberries, whatever it is. We produce $7 billion in a year. And so we got agritourism and farmers markets. We, I think maybe the last numbers I saw was like $2 million, $2 billion and $7 billion. It's a lot more than that. We know that, but we can't prove that. And so I would just encourage you to find some way for your farmers markets to turn in the numbers that you say, just some type of an estimate so that we can say, I believe, I don't have any proof. I really believe, I don't think there's any doubt that this is the fastest growing segment of the ag industry in Oklahoma right now. You can look at the way this has grown. It's grown from 125 5 years ago to 500 this year. But farmers markets have grown, the vendors have grown, the consumers wanting local food has grown. So we know it's grown, but we can't identify it. And similar, I didn't actually know that you have a session on feral hogs. Feral hogs, we keep track of the number of hogs that we eliminate in a year. And in 2011, we eliminated 2,243 or something like that. This year, we eliminated 32,000 some. Because we keep track, we can say how successful we are, and we're applying for grants to show that we're the most successful in the United States in improving our capture and elimination of the feral hog problem of Oklahoma. In farmers markets and in agritourism, it's harder to quantify that. It's harder for us to show how much success that we're having and how much that it's growing. So I would encourage you somehow during this session to talk to farmers market managers, find out a way that we can turn in numbers and show how successful that we're being. That was just all off the cuff, so what was I going to talk about? Actually, I guess I covered most of what I was going to say there in that rant. Those of you who have known the Department of Agriculture for some time, we're dealing with a lot less money and trying to provide the same amount of services. So, like Mary Ruth is doing the job of 3 people now, from even when I started in 2011. Sherry Long doing Farm to School, does Ag in the Classroom, and that's all of these programs we're really proud of. We're proud of the way that we coordinate, cooperate, and mix the programs, and everybody helps each other. But we are doing it on much less. So with Mary Ruth and Tandy, just thank them for all that they do, because they're doing the work of 2 or 3 people. Mike Anderson, who did, a lot of you probably know Mike Anderson, who did our garden in front, and did plasticulture and strawberry education, just a lot of things. He got stolen from us and went to Langston University, so he's working at Langston University now. And we haven't replaced that. We're going to cooperate probably with the university to keep our garden and try to extend our reach into that type of extension and help and use universities to do that. But we're just, we're cooperating. We're trying to get that, expand that as much as we can. And agritourism. When I was growing up, my dad was a dairy farmer, and dairy farmers are always busy, but he spent a significant amount of time making sure that we were outside. So even if we weren't working and feeding calves and doing the things that you do on the farm, we did the little, I don't know, you don't call it a monorail, but the little monorail that you go down, and a tree house and a little swimming pool and a trampoline, anything to make sure that kids stayed outside and played. And so when I see these agritourism sites, they're just unbelievably awesome. It's just what I wanted as a kid. They're far advanced from what we had in our backyard, but it's the same concept. It gets kids outside. It gets kids playing often with animals is a part of it, and it's good for the health of the entire state. So we appreciate your efforts. And she mentioned all of the sponsors. I wanted to make sure that we really appreciate, I had the list, but since she went over them, remember all the sponsors. This conference, I get invited to a lot of conferences and they all want me to pay to go. This is one that maybe it's the reason it's so successful. It's free. And so thank the sponsors that have made it be free and have helped us get this together. I appreciate all of you coming. I'm sure all of the sessions are going to be very good. I think they've got them all full, despite the fact of several speakers canceling. I know that they're all going to be good. So thank you. I guess one more thing. I've just gone through some notes of what to say, and I came across this. Came out of a book that you'll probably recognize. God created man in his own image. In the image of God, he created him, man and female, he created them. God blessed them, and he said to them, be fruitful and multiply and fill the earth and subdue it and rule over the fish of the sea and the birds of the sky and every living thing that moves on the earth. Then God said, behold, I have given you every plant yielding seed that is on the surface of all the earth, and every tree that has fruit yielding seed. It shall be food for you. And to the beast of the earth and every bird of the sky and everything that moves on the earth which has life, I have given every green plant for food. And it was so. And God saw all that he had made, and behold, it was very good. He gave us all the resources in the world, and we take care of them. But, Kirby Smith, who is a legislative assistant for Congressman Frank Lucas, always told me that, my grandma, Grammy somebody, always said, being in the garden is the closest to God you'll ever be till you get to heaven. And, it is. And it's what we all, I know we get so big group, we got agritourism, but plants, animals, living outside, that's what life's all about. So appreciate all you do. Thank you.